Like the WWF, WCW marketed products to just about anybody that would buy them, and that included toys. The action figures that the WWF were producing were hugely successful, so naturally WCW wanted to get in on the action. In 1990, WCW and Galoob teamed up to bring us the first line of action figures from the promotion. These, like the early WWF figures, were made of a hard plastic and came in a pre-molded pose that could not be altered. Originally, these toys were only available at Kmart, but after other retailers saw the success of the toys, they started to carry them as well. Sales for the figures eventually declined, most likely due to the lack of variety. While the WWF would re-release figures with updated attires, the WCW line pretty much remained the same. Though these figures were sometimes a bit over-exaggerated as far as looks go, I did like their overall appearance, but after only a few years, Galoob and WCW parted ways. After Galoob, the WCW joined forces with the original San Francisco toy makers. These toys were made out of a hard plastic, and while a lot of these were shaped into poses, they did also feature movable parts, though sometimes they were limited to just arms. These toys were known for their lack of detail. Some well-known wrestlers were almost unrecognizable. Despite this, these figures became very popular and sold extremely well, especially as WCW started to gain popularity moving into the second half of the 1990s. One bizarre series that came out during this time featured vibrating wrestlers. Simply hold a button down on the wrestler's body and he'll vibrate. Now, I'm not sure how that relates to wrestling, but they were trying to be innovative, so you gotta give them credit for that. By 1997, the toys had improved since the first series, but they were still a little lacking compared to what the WWF was putting out. In 1998, WCW decided to one-up the competition and worked out a deal with Toy Biz to make their new line of action figures. These toys absolutely blew me away when they were released. The level of detail was something we had never seen in a wrestling toy. The amount of movable parts were very impressive. I wanted every single one of these that was released. The Smash and Slam series was one of the most popular of the group. These wrestlers featured specific actions that were triggered by squeezing their legs together. Each wrestler also came with a prop that could be used with the wrestler. For example, the Giant had chokeslam action and came with a specialized version of Rey Mysterio designed to fit perfectly in his grip. There was also a Nitro playset and a ring that featured interactive situations complete with sound effects. This was truly what us WCW fans had been waiting for as far as toys go. There were also numerous versions of each wrestler, which gave us plenty of options, something the WWF had been doing with their toys for quite a while. In fact, whereas previous WCW toys had the problem of not giving us enough variety, the new toys were kind of the opposite, sometimes going overboard in delivering us new lines. Regardless, the Toy Biz action figures proved to be successful and sold until 2001. The history of WCW action figures is like a roller coaster that starts out slow and ends at 80 miles per hour. Some of my favorite wrestlers of all time spent the late 90s with the promotion, and because of that, I purchased a lot of these toys as a youngster and still own a lot of them to this day. How do you guys feel about WCW action figures? What were some of your favorites throughout the years? Let me know in the comments section below, and as always, thank you for watching.